The Cursed Mermaid, an untold love story of a princess and a fisherman. The sun was slowly sinking into the waves of the sea. The entire sky had turned red and golden. From the high balcony of the royal palace, this view was breathtaking. However, Princess Ananya did not find much joy in watching it from a height. She preferred sitting by the sea watching it up close. Ananya was the most beautiful princess in the kingdom. Her skin glowed like the moon, and her eyes were as deep and blue as the ocean. But she was not only known for her beauty, she was also stubborn and headstrong. She disliked rules and regulations. So, whenever she had the chance, she would sneak out of the palace. Today it was no different. As the palace became quiet, Ananya prepared her special boat and, along with her two most trusted servants, sailed toward the sea. She loved the vastness of the ocean. She would spend hours playing with the waves and watching the birds fly over the shore. But the laws of nature are beyond anyone's control. When Ananya was in the middle of the ocean, the wind suddenly picked up. The light waves grew aggressive and dark clouds gathered in the sky, with thunder rumbling in the distance. "We should return, princess," one of the servants said in panic. "Not yet, it's just a light storm," Ananya replied carelessly. But this was no light storm. It was the fury of the sea. Within moments, the waves became monstrous, tossing their boat wildly. Ananya tried to regain balance, but suddenly, a massive wave hit, capsizing the boat. Ananya was thrown into the water. Darkness and cold surrounded her. She couldn't understand what was happening. Her breath quickened. She began struggling to swim, but the waves were too strong. Slowly, her body started sinking into the water. Her lungs filled with water. Darkness clouded her vision. "Is this the end of my story?" she thought to herself. But then she felt something moving in the water. Some glowing, massive figures were swimming toward her. They weren't ordinary fish. They seemed to be from some magical realm. One of them was a luminous, blue and golden fish, with eyes resembling those of a human. In the next moment, the fish circled Ananya. Then, with a flick of its tail, a soft light surrounded Ananya, protecting her and guiding her into the depths of the ocean. Meanwhile, in the far corner of the kingdom, a poor fisherman sat in his hut, reflecting on his day's hard work. He didn't have much wealth, but he was honest and hard-working. His son, Urav, was equally brave and stubborn. "Today we've caught good fish, father. Tomorrow we must work harder," Urav said with a smile. "Yes, tomorrow I'll go deeper into the sea and catch even more fish," Urav's father replied. The next morning, Urav took his boat and set off alone toward the sea. But as he ventured deeper, he saw a glowing shape in the water. "What is that?" Urav wondered. The shape was unlike anything he had seen before, blue, golden, and enormous. "If I catch this, I could become very wealthy," Urav thought and cast his net. But as soon as the net landed on the fish, it started to thrash around violently. Suddenly, the fish whipped its tail, and with a mysterious force pulled the boat toward it. Urav struggled to control the boat, but he failed. The next moment, the boat capsized and Urav too was submerged in the water. Urav felt he was being protected by some magical force. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a strange place. The water around him was glowing, and he could see a massive, glittering palace under the sea, along with strange creatures swimming by. "You are now in the mermaid realm," one of the mermaids told him. Urav looked around and saw Princess Ananya sitting in a corner. "Princess?" Urav asked in surprise. Ananya was just as startled. "How did you get here?" she asked, but they had no time to discuss. Suddenly, the queen of the mermaids appeared before them. "Are these the two humans who have entered my world without permission?" she asked in a cold voice. This was the queen of the mermaid realm, and her beauty was unparalleled. However, her eyes held a certain harshness. She wore a crown that sparkled with sea pearls. "How did you both dare to step into my world?" she demanded. Ananya and Urav remained silent, unsure of why this was happening to them. "You will now be punished for this mistake," the queen said. "You both will serve me. Until I am satisfied, you will remain here." "But your majesty," Ananya began to speak, but the queen gave her a cold stare, silencing her. "Make them my servants," the queen ordered her attendants. From that moment, Ananya and Urav had to serve the mermaid realm every day. They cleaned the palace, gathered pearls for the queen, and took care of the magical creatures. But it wasn't easy. Everything in the mermaid realm was different. The food, the air, the way of life. "I can't do this anymore," Ananya said one day in anger. "We need to escape from here." Urav quietly replied, "But escaping from the mermaid realm is impossible. It is surrounded by powerful ocean currents. Anyone who tries to leave will be caught by the sea's beasts." the mistake that led to their curse. One day the queen gave Ananya and Urav the task of cleaning her most prized magical jewel, a gemstone that was the most treasured object in the mermaid realm. As Ananya and Urav cleaned the jewel, a strange force began to envelop them, and their fates were about to change forever.